Hello, everybody. This is the roving reporter, and I'm here with a tip regarding speaking activities. So, imagine you're having some difficulty with your connectivity with the internet for whatever reason, and maybe it's not possible for you to actually show or do video conferencing with your students. You have them there waiting, and connection just keeps falling through all the time. This happened to me a few weeks ago, and I had two options. Was option one, reschedule or postpone the class, or option two, do something a little different, and I opted for option number two. Basically, what I did was I asked my student to record audio messages, to send me audio using WhatsApp, but it could have been on any instant messaging app like WhatsApp, maybe Telegram, or Messenger, even on Instagram, where you can send private messages recording your voice. So the idea was to I would send him a question, I would ask him to do something, and he would reply. And we actually kept a string of audio recordings for more than half an hour. It was really interesting. I didn't think it would come up to that much, but it actually provided a different way for my student to practice his English. And this is something that you can do with your students. You can get them to record audio messages and also get them to, let's say, prepare their text, rehearse their text before they send them to you. So by doing this, I worked on several skills. Firstly, listening and listening attentively, because I have to listen to him first, and then in order to provide my answer, I have to wait to listen to the complete audio, everything in the audio. So there's listening and there's listening actively. Then I need to prepare my text, write it or get it together, and I can rehearse. So if I need to re-record if it doesn't sound well before sending that, pressing the send button, all right? And also helps to work a bit on practicing my audios, which can be useful for students who may have to sit an international exam, who may have to do exams like TOEFL, where they record their voices, and this is part of the speaking evaluation. So there was listening, there was speaking, there was interaction, of course, but it gave students, to a certain extent, equal amount of time. Those of us who are worried specifically with teacher talking time, this forces us to be a little more concise, because I have to record. I can't keep the students waiting, so I couldn't talk forever. I had to make sure that my questions or my instructions or whatever I was saying were very clear and to the point, so that students could react quickly. So it had to be on the go. So this forces me to be more concise and helps lower my TTT, as they say. It make my TTT much more effective, right? And again, it prepares students for critical work. It gets them to think and more clearly about what they want to say, right? So this kind of practice can also provide variety for the class, because a lot of times in face-to-face interaction, or what we not face-to-face in terms of physical presence, but seeing each other through a camera like this one, uh, of course we want to interact as we interact with people in real time or in physical situations. But it's not always possible, and of course sometimes because of the video, the connectivity, there may be a delay, there may be, it may cut off and stuff. So this provides a little variety, a little difference to the whole dynamic of the class that you might be doing with your students. And I didn't think it would work, but my student actually loved it. And the second, let's say, the following class, he asked us to do it again. Yeah, so it provided a bit of difference there, and it also worked as also a bit of dictation. So you had to take quick notes while I was speaking to him. Sorry. So you see there that there are several possibilities by doing that. So as I said, it wasn't something I had planned, but it ended up working out much more effective than I had imagined in the first place. So that's my tip. It doesn't have to be, as I said, every class. Vary it. Maybe every other class, or of course trying it with your students to do that audio messages and see how they interact with that. Which, if we look at it from the idea of real communication, real life communication, this happens to us in several situations where we talk with friends or even at work, where we send audio and the our interlocutor, the person on the other end, listens, replies, sometimes right away or sometimes at a later time. But the conversation keeps going, right? So again, it's another another means or another form of communicating, establishing connection with your students. All right. So this is my tip. I'm the Roving Reporter. Take care. Roving, roving, roving reporter. Bye bye.